Okay, what's going on, everybody? We're here. We are live. I want to thank you all for joining me today. If you can see and hear me clearly, please drop a one in the live chat, and then we can get today's stream started. As I'm waiting for the ones to come in, if you haven't already, please make sure you hit the like button. That is the most important thing you can do for me on this channel. What it does is that it helps to make sure that those who are subscribed to the channel will indeed get their notifications, and it also helps to push this video through the YouTube algorithm. Secondly, if you're new to the channel, or maybe you have been ghost watching this channel for quite some time now, please do me a favor and do yourself a favor by hitting the subscribe button as well as the bell notification next to the subscribe button so you can be notified whenever I release a new video. And lastly, please make sure you share this video out on your social media platforms as well. Share this out to your family and friends, and get them informed on this news and information that I deliver to you. And it also helps give me a boost in the YouTube algorithm as well. And lastly, please follow me on Telegram. The link to my Telegram, which is at TD Media Group, is in the description box below. It is pinned. It will be pinned in the comment section once this live is over, but it is also currently pinned in the live chat. And now that the introduction is out of the way, let's get into today's show. Today's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a lighthearted stream. This is honestly just going to be a side mission for me. That's what this is. I'll be honest with you. This is not a serious stream at all. It's definitely just a side mission. I just wanted to take some time today to poke a little fun at Marc Lamont Hill. I just want to take a moment to poke a little fun at him because earlier this morning, when I was scrolling through YouTube, I came across this video of Marc Lamont Hill on his YouTube channel reacting to the fandom that took place at the Chick-fil-A in Atlanta when Donald Trump found himself surrounded by young Black American voters who were swarming him. They wanted to take pictures with him. They were just really happy to see him. That's a video, and a lot of photos from that went viral throughout the internet yesterday. And what was funny is that for as smart as Marc Lamont Hill is, this is probably the first and only time that I've listened to him speak and he sounded completely incoherent, confused, dazed, and just in complete disbelief over the idea that young Black voters would actually support Trump and would actually be happy and excited to see him, right? He just couldn't believe it. And in his attempt to explain it away, he was just talking foolishness. And it was so comical listening to him attempt to explain it away. And with that, like I said, I just wanted to present this to you all today so that we can all laugh together. We can joke on Mark together. And you can just see the foolishness and the ridiculousness behind him trying to defend Joe Biden, because that's really what this is about. It's about defending Joe Biden and making sure that Black Americans stay in lockstep with the Democratic Party, as they have been since 1964, to the tune of 85 to 90%. He's trying to make sure that that stays that way. And the reason and the way you know that that's what he's trying to do is because though he may be, I believe he's a Green Party member or something like that, though he's a third partyist, right? For lack of better words, Marc Lamont Hill is a third partyist, right? I believe he's a member of the Green Party or something of that nature. When the majority of your critiques consistently go towards Republicans / conservatives, especially in an election year like this, well, then what that tells me is that you're pushing for Biden without pushing for Biden. That's just the reality of it. Though technically you may be Green Party member or some sort of third partyist, realistically, you want Black folks to keep their eyes on Biden because that's what your actions show. That's what your actions show. So let's get into it. I'm going to pull the video up for you guys right now. That's enough of my long-winded intro, into this. And like I said, let's just have fun. Let's have fun and laugh together.
Donald Trump showed up in Atlanta, Georgia. Donald Trump showed up in Atlanta, Georgia, and Mr. Trump, y'all president, some of y'all former presidents, some of y'all love this dude. He showed up to Chick-fil-A. Now, he already had an event scheduled, but Donald Trump decides that he's going to court some black voters. So what does he do? He goes to Chick-fil-A. Now, I already know what some of y'all going to say. Well, Joe Biden went to a black family and he had a chicken dinner with them. Something about these presidential candidates think that Negroes love chicken so much that you can just sit down with a 3-piece and we're going to vote for you. But at least Joe Biden showed up with the chicken. Donald Trump goes into Chick-fil-A.
How is that? You see what I'm saying? He's already starting off not making any sense. So he's trying to say that it's bad overall, that apparently, you know, by the looks of it, whenever a president wants to engage in some sort of black outreach, it involves chicken, right? But the big difference between Joe Biden and Donald Trump is this. Joe Biden showed up to that black man's house with chicken, Kool-Aid, and watermelon in his hand, right? He showed up there. Donald Trump, on the other hand, actually went to Chick-fil-A to buy milkshakes for his team. That's what he went there for. And Marc Lamont's going to acknowledge that in a moment, that he went there to buy milkshakes for the team. And in buying milkshakes for the team, you walk into Chick-fil-A, and as you can see, they're in Atlanta of all places, right? To all black staff over there behind the counter, as you can see. And those black folks all inside of there. So what you have is Trump walking in to get milkshakes, and there's black folks already there, and he's showing love, and they're showing love back. That and Joe Biden showing up with a huge bucket of chicken and watermelon, those are two completely different things. Those are two completely different things as far as I'm concerned. Like I said, he's already starting not to make sense, and it carries on like this and gets worse the more we play the video. And also, too, if you want to watch the video, Marc Lamont's video without my comments here, the link is in the description box below as well, so you can go to his channel and view it without me stopping it, you know, every couple seconds. But let's carry on. And yeah, DSB, Mark sounds mad. He sounds mad. He sounds a bit irritated. But let's carry on. Let me rewind it back just a little bit and let's keep it moving.
I'll vote for you. But at least Joe Biden showed up with the chicken. Donald Trump goes into Chick-fil-A and he orders 30 milkshakes. He said, y'all can have some of them and the rest we're going to take with us.
You see, so he's already acknowledging that Donald Trump went there to get milkshakes for the team. He went to get milkshakes for his team. And upon going there, like I said, once again, he's in Atlanta. Bunch of black folks working up in there. He showed love. They showed love back. Joe Biden said, wait, we're going to go see some black folks? Let me go get some chicken.
I don't know how many milkshakes he actually left for people and how many he brought onto the van. But either way, this is a low bar. You can't expect to get black voters by walking into a Chick-fil-A. And yes, these people are smiling right now. You see them.
What he's going to say right now is really stupid, to say the least. I didn't want to say that because I feel like stupid is harsh, but it's really like goofy. But before he says that, I want to acknowledge Jupiter 1000 Ice. What he said Roland Martin says it was staged. Listen, it wasn't. I'll give Roland Martin this. It was staged, right, to a degree, and it was staged to the degree that they knew, and no, I'm not an insider into like the Trump, you know, administration or whatever the case is, you know, but it's just common sense, you know, when you understand kind of the basics of how the president and former presidents move concerning Secret Service. They knew ahead of time. Trump knew ahead of time, we're going to go to Chick-fil-A to get these milkshakes, right? No president, when they're traveling the way that Trump was traveling, stops to do anything on a dime, right? What they don't have a motorcade that's going down the street, you know, 20 motorcades strong, with the president or former president, in this case Donald Trump, in it, and Trump just says, "Hey, you know what? Pull over to that McDonald's right quick. I'm about to hop out. Let me get to the McDonald's." That's not how that works. They know where they're going to go ahead of time, and Secret Service sweeps the entire area. Secret Service goes in and sweeps the entire Chick-fil-A, right? To make sure that everything is good, everything is okay, because everybody knows that he's in town. So they make sure the premises has been swept and everything is clear of any possibility of foolishness happening. So, with that being said, by the time they get through doing all that, yeah, the staff already knows, they've been informed, like, yo, he's coming through today. He's coming through, right? Everybody knows that. So once again, so to say it was staged and them saying it was staged, it's as if he were saying these are paid actors or something of that nature. And that's not the case. That's not what happened. To the degree that it was staged, it's by default to where, once again, they have to sweep the premises to make sure that everything is okay. So yes, the staff knew ahead of time that he was coming. That doesn't mean that the reaction that he received wasn't genuine. And the reaction that he received is what Marc Lamont Hill is going to attempt to explain away. And I want you to listen to how crazy this sounds. Listen to how crazy this sounds. Let me run it back just a little bit and listen to his explanation for why Trump received the why he received the warm welcoming that he did from, young black voters.
I don't know how many milkshakes he actually left for people and how many he brought onto the van, but either way, this is a low bar. You can't expect to get black voters by walking into a Chick-fil-A. And yes, these people are smiling right now. You see them. But you got to understand, most people, when they see celebrities, they smile. Most people, when they see celebrities, they want pictures taken. I don't care if it's the tomato from the supermarket. If you see a tomato on TV, when you get to the supermarket, you want to take a picture with that tomato. Not because you care about tomatoes, but because it was on TV. It's just what people do.
What? What are we talking? I'm gonna let you listen to that again. Okay. This is the logic. Mind you, Marc Lamont Hill is a very is a highly intelligent person. You know what I mean? I know it's, we online, we get to acting silly, and we'll discredit people's intelligence and things of that nature. But like, I'll give it to Marc Lamont Hill. He's an intelligent guy. He's a very well-read, man, professor and all that good stuff. That's why I was so shocked to hear him sound just so incoherent and discombobulated and all over the place with his explanation of why things happened the way that they transpired at that Chick-fil-A. Listen to this again. Listen to this tomato example again. That literally made no sense at all whatsoever.
Voters by walking into a to get black voters by walking into a Chick-fil-A. And yes, these people are smiling right now. You see them. But you got to understand, most people, when they see celebrities, they smile. Most people, when they see celebrities, they want pictures taken. I don't care if it's the tomato from the supermarket. If you see a tomato on TV, when you get to the supermarket, you want to take a picture with that tomato. Not because you care about tomatoes, but because it was on TV. It's just what people do.
So when you see it, if you see a tomato on TV and you go to the grocery store and you see a tomato, you want to take a picture with that tomato simply because you saw the tomato on TV. And this is why when Donald Trump walked into the Chick-fil-A, you see all these good black folks smiling. That's why. The tomato example and what you see here runs parallel. That makes all the sense in the world. Yeah. Tomatoes. Tomatoes. I don't know what he's trying to explain here. Like I said, he's desperately attempting to explain what he saw away, because Marc Lamont Hill, like so many others, like so many other Biden apologists and Democrat Party apologists, they can't fathom that black folks would actually start walking away from the Democratic Party. They can't fathom that with all of the news and hit pieces that are ran on Trump and the way in which they shame black folks, right? The way they shame them for having the audacity to say, hey, man, you know what, this time around, I think I'm going to vote for Trump because of X, Y, and Z reasons. The way they shame you, they can't fathom that, especially the youth would still ignore all of that and support Trump and show him love as he shows love back. They can't fathom that. It just doesn't register and doesn't process to them. And to be honest with you, I didn't hear what Roland Martin had to say, but I'm going to assume, and you guys can tell me in the live chat, tell me, was Roland Martin nice about it? Or, because you know, Roland Martin, he can be a big douche and he likes to call people idiots and call people outside their name. Did he do that when speaking about this? Did he refer to all those black folks in the Chick-fil-A as being idiots and things of that nature? I'll be monitoring the live chat to just let me know if that's what he did. Because Marc Lamont Hill, the entirety of his, you can say, reaction to this was very mild and calm, kind of like how it is now. And the reason that it is, right, and the reason that I believe that Marc Lamont Hill, and I'm going to assume possibly Roland Martin, handled this situation with kid gloves, without the insults and whatnot, is because at this Chick-fil-A that was packed with black people, with young black voters, it was mainly black women. And we all know within the Democratic Party, especially over the last, I don't know, almost 10 years now, really since 2016 is when I started noticing this. The Democrats, they hold black women up as almost like a golden calf, you know? They constantly refer to black women as the backbone of the Democratic Party. They say this a lot. They say it all the time. So the reality and or just the idea of black women being respectful towards Trump, supporting Trump, liking Trump, anything positive going towards Trump's way, and that positivity being ushered out by black women, they can't fathom that that's something that's happening. And because they've run with the narrative so long that black women are the backbone of the Democratic Party, they have to be careful of what they say at this moment in time concerning this particular situation here. Because what they don't want to do is piss off black women, right? Especially when you've been saying that they're the backbone of the Democratic Party for almost close to 10 years now. I've been hearing that since after 2016. I've been hearing that a lot, you know? So anyways, let's carry on. Let's carry on with this.
We love celebrity. We are a celebrity culture. But I hear people on the internet talking about, well, look at black people. They selling out. They see Donald Trump and they sell out. Don't assume that because Negroes smiled at Donald Trump.
Why is it selling out to have a respectful dialogue or a respectful interaction with Donald Trump? Why is that selling out? Were they supposed to disrespect him when he walked in? You see, I don't understand what he's getting at and why he would say that. And who's saying that? Who's saying that these black people in Atlanta sold out? It's completely ridiculous. The idea that they sold out just because everyone was cordial and respectful of one another, or just because these black folks in Atlanta have the audacity to have a mind of their own and are making their own conscious decision to say, hey, you know what, this time around, I think I'm going to go with Trump. That automatically makes them a sellout. You see, if anybody was a sellout, and if I had to label somebody a sellout, it wouldn't be a Trump supporter. It would be somebody who's continuously voting blue, despite the fact that you've been doing this religiously since 1964 to the tune of 85 to 90% to no avail, to which you even have places in cities like Chicago that is a one-party city. It's Democrat from top to bottom. And the black community in Chicago is upside down, yet it's Democrat. How is that possible? If they were who they said they were, there would be no racial wealth gap in Chicago. There would be virtually no real kind of, I'm not going to say there wouldn't be any crime, right? But to the degree that crime and violence exists in the Black community in Chicago, it wouldn't be to the extent that we see it now. It wouldn't be that way if the Democrats were who they said they were. The disparities that you see between Black Americans and everybody else in Chicago. And I'm using Chicago as a reference, but Chicago is really, it's the Black community overall as it pertains to this vote blue, no matter who experiment. You know, as it pertains to disparities overall concerning Black Americans and everybody else in Chicago, the disparities are blown out of the water. Why is that in a one-party state or one-party city like Chicago? If the Democrats were who they said they were, these things wouldn't exist over there. If the Democrats were who they said they were, the Black community in Chicago would be almost the equivalent of a Wakanda, like it would be the equivalent of like a Wakanda type area. It would look great. Everything would be great, but it's not. Now, does that mean that every Black person in Chicago is hurting and struggling and is living in some type of upside down situation? No, but far too many are. Far too many are. And the upside down situations that Black folks are living under in Chicago are the very situations that the Democrats point to and say, hey, look, these things are the way they are because of Jim Crow, Black codes, remnants of slavery, so on and so forth. And they're not wrong when they say that. They're not wrong, but they don't do anything about it. So they leave the situation as is, doing the very least so that nothing can change, so that they can always gaslight you with that. And in gaslighting you with that, they know that they will always get the knee-jerk reaction of you saying, hey, it sounds like they understand our condition, so we should vote for them. And they also understand that when it comes to Republicans and them having to appease their base, they're always going to automatically reject that position. And if they automatically reject that position, well, then obviously that's going to evoke an emotional response out of you to say, well, F them. I don't want anything to do with them, so I'm just gonna go with the Democrats. That's how that game works. And the cycle continues and you keep voting for them to no avail. And here we are now 60 plus years later. And in the city of Chicago, you're on the verge of being replaced by illegal immigrants crossing the border by way of the border crisis. To which now in Chicago, we clearly see Brandon Johnson and his entire administration, as well as over half of the city council and J.B. Pritzker, are clearly prioritizing those illegal immigrants over you, placing them into housing all in your neighborhoods on the south and west side, while you're homeless, the homeless citizen population remains in the street. Go figure. If you are going to keep voting for that, I would say that you're the sellout. I would say that you're the sellout at that point. But that's just me. What do I know? I'm just some guy talking into a microphone in South Central Los Angeles. So let me play the video and keep it going. There are 406 of you in the stream right now. Please hit the like button if you have not already. That is extremely important for the growth of the channel. And shout out to Walter Wilborn for always coming through, as he always does, with the contribution to today's stream. Thank you very much, Walter Wilborn, for being the first person to contribute to today's show. Let's carry on.
Because Negroes took a picture with Donald Trump. That Negroes.
That's another thing that I can't stand either. Have you all noticed that it's only, what's the word that I'm looking for? Intelligentsia? I don't even know if I'm using, that's the first time I've used that. I'm using that word. I think I'm using it right. But have you ever noticed it's always the Black intelligentsia, like Marc Lamont Hill, or Michael, what's his name, Eric Dyson, and so on and so forth. They always use the word Negro to say Black. That really annoys me. I really can't stand. It's always the Black academic that when they're referring to Black people, they refer to them as Negroes. I don't know why they do that. it's really annoying. And it's not like I don't say, drop the, N-word with the GA on it. I mean, I do. But I'm just saying every time I hear that, it's like they're saying that to make themselves appear so much more intelligent than what they actually are by referring to black folks as Negroes. That's really annoying to me. But anyways, I digress. Let me rewind it back just a little bit and let's carry on.
Don't assume that because Negroes smiled at Donald Trump, because Negroes took a picture with Donald Trump, that Negroes is going to vote for Donald Trump. I saw numbers that said black people were going to vote for Donald Trump at the rate of 20, 30%. Black men were going to vote at the rate of 20, 30%. I never trusted those polls. I never believed those polls. Donald Trump.
That's the one thing where I will agree with Marc Lamont Hill on. Like I've said multiple times concerning those polls, I have to see it to believe it. I have to see it to believe it.
Is going to get a very small slice of the black vote, because black folk got good sense. And we might be a polite people. We might be a welcoming people. We are a loving people. We got home training. We're not going to disrespect Donald Trump. We're not going to throw shoes at him. We're not going to throw the milkshake in his face, even though he could deserve to have an Oreo cookie milkshake in his face. We're not going to do none of that.
Why would he deserve that more than Joe Biden? Especially considering the fact that Joe Biden is 100% guilty of legislative racism. I've never heard anybody use that term before. So if you hear anybody else using that after me, just know they got that from me. Legislative racism. He has a long track record of legislative racism concerning the crime bill that he authored, was very proud of authoring. He said that it was so strong and was so tough and ironclad that it does everything except for lynch folks in the street for jaywalking. Those were his words. A bill that was crafted specifically with the purposes of targeting Black Americans. Somehow he doesn't deserve an Oreo milkshake tossed in his face, but Donald Trump does. I don't know. Go figure.
Because we're polite people. But please don't confuse Donald Trump getting some smiles in a Chick-fil-A with Donald Trump getting votes from the Black community. But it is interesting that Donald Trump uses this as his Black voter outreach. He didn't go to a Black public school, doesn't go to a Black community center, doesn't go to a Black church. We saw him last time trying to clap on beating that Black church. He didn't do any of that.
He didn't go here for Black public outreach. Marc Lamont Hill already acknowledged in the beginning of this video that he went there to get milkshakes for his team. So what he went there for was to get milkshakes. That's what he went there for. His Black voter outreach already happened. What was that, in South Carolina? It was in South Carolina when that man on MSNBC said it's time for the Democrats to move on from Black men and replace Black men with Latino men and Asian men. Remember that? The MSNBC guy that said that? So his Black voter outreach already occurred. I believe, once again, it was in South Carolina. It was a very professional event, right? That's not what this was. Like I said, Marc Lamont Hill already acknowledged in the beginning of this stream that he went there to get milkshakes. So it was supposed to be a Black voter outreach. It just turned out to be a really good look for Donald Trump. And that makes people like Marc Lamont Hill and Roland Martin very upset that this turned out to be a great look for Trump versus how things turned out for Joe Biden the last time that he was around young Black Americans. I'm glad I did not forget this. Let me pull this up for you guys very quickly. Let me show you guys this. Do you all remember the last time Joe Biden was amongst young Black Americans? You remember what happened last time? Well, last time he was around young Black Americans, he was actually at an HBCU. And when he was at an HBCU, speaking to young Black Americans at a historically Black college, this happened. How many of y'all remember this? That's Joe Biden in the background. And you had this brother who had the courage to stand up with the sign in his hand and tell the truth. Biden and Harris don't care about Black people. And he was not the only one holding up signs. There, if you look this up online, I believe this is Howard University. If you look it up online, he held up a sign like this, and there were two other Black women who held up similar signs like this during Joe Biden, who you can see in the back, giving the, what is it called? The commencement speech, I believe it's called. I didn't go to college, so I don't know. I believe it's called the commencement speech. So this is what happened the last time Joe Biden was in front of young Black voters. That's what happened the last time. But recently, right? Was it 3 days ago? Obviously, as we all know, this is what happened when Donald Trump found himself surrounded by young black voters. I'm going to play this very quickly.
How you doing, Trump? I'm doing good. I love you, man. You look good. I love you. Everybody get straight, man.
Look at all them black folks. Look at them loving them. Look at that. This is what happened when he was around. Okay. When Biden was around young black voters, he got this. He got that treatment when he was around young black voters. That's the treatment that he got, okay? But when Trump was around, he got this.
Everybody having a good time? Get ready. Yeah, I'll give you one.
Look at this one.
The media tells you, Mr. Trump, we support you.
She said, that sister, strong black woman, said, we don't care what the media says, Donald Trump. We support you. That's what she said. I didn't say that. I'm just repeating what she said, you know. Black women are the backbone of the Democratic Party. Yeah, it looks like your backbone is walking away from you. It's walking off.
So I don't care what the media tells you, Mr. Trump. We support you.
We support you, man.
Okay, 4 p.m. We've been 4 p.m.
Come here, let me give you a
See, so that's what was happening. So, but now let's get back to Marc Lamont Hill. Let's get back to Mr. Hill because he's almost done speaking. We're going to wrap this up soon. But I just wanted to show you the difference. I just wanted to show you that difference between the two. He's saying that, oh, you know, Trump went to Chick-fil-A. He didn't go to any other respectable place to meet black folks. But funny enough, when, like I said, Joe Biden went to a respectable place, HBCU, Howard University, to meet black folks, he got a warm welcome and a warm dose of the truth of black folks telling him to his face that you don't care about us. So I find that very interesting. But let's carry on.
Today is Eid al-Fitr. He could be
What?
at
You drunk?
today is Eid al-Fitr. He could be
That's that Biden talk. That you don't know what to say. Y'all know sometimes I glitch out because I'm a Russian bot powered by artificial intelligence and ChatGPT, created by Putin to push misinformation on YouTube to convince Black Americans to vote for Trump. That's what I was created to do. I'm not a real person. I'm actually AI. I don't exist in real life. And I glitch out at times. You all know. And I tend to glitch out when I'm reading. You know, sometimes I'm reading and I just get the hubba, but at least we can attribute it to like, oh, TD's glitching out right now. You know, Putin needs to, do a system reboot on TD. He's struggling with the reading again, right? You got to reboot. But right here, he's just talking off the top of the dome and hit you with the hubba. That's all, folks. He pulled the Joe Biden. You know, he started. You gonna start talking about corn pop? I don't know. Let's listen to that one more time.
Black community, but it is interesting that Donald Trump uses this as his black voter outreach. He didn't go to a black public school, doesn't go to a black community center, doesn't go to a black church. We saw him last time trying to clap on beating that black church. He didn't do any of that.
Do you remember last time Joe Biden was in the black church in South Carolina? There was more white people in that black church than black people. I wish I had that photo up right now. Let me see. Please tell me I have that photo, please. Of course not. I don't have it queued up and I don't have time to look for it. But remember that the last time when Joe Biden was in a South Carolina black church, it was called like, I don't know, Episcopal African something, whatever it was called. There were literally more white people in that church than black people in a black church. But, you know, I digress. Let's carry on. Go ahead, Mark. Take it away.
Today is Eid al-Fitr. He could be
okay, let's get serious because I need to end this. I gotta go. I gotta go. That's that Joe Biden speech. That's the MK Ultra glitch right there.
At West End Masjid in Atlanta, speaking to the Black Muslim community. He ain't there. He definitely ain't gonna be there. Shit, he might be trying to ban him. Donald Trump instead is in a Chick-fil-A doing a photo op. He signed a MAGA hat. He bought some milkshake. He didn't even buy chicken. How you gonna go to Chick-fil-A and only buy people milkshake? He didn't even get the 3-piece, you know what I mean? Or the nuggets, I should say. He didn't even get the nuggets. He didn't get.
What is he talking about right now? And if you're going upon based upon Marc Lamont Hill's premise and everything that he's taught, him being in the Chick-fil-A apparently was an insult to begin with. And if you want to run with that, that's fine. I'm not going to argue you down about it. You know what I mean? I think that what Joe Biden did was egregiously 10 times worse. You're going to meet up with a black family and you pull up, like I said, with a bucket of chicken and Kool-Aid and watermelon. I think that that's a lot worse than Donald Trump going to get milkshakes and black folks are there because he's in Atlanta. But Mark's essential argument is that this is ridiculous, it's insulting, and he shouldn't have even been there. So why do you want him to buy chicken? At least he had the presence of mind to say, hey, man, you know, I'm in here right now. Like, black folks, chicken place. I'm not about to buy no chicken, though. I'm about to get milkshakes for everybody. He played it smart. Trump played it smart. He was like, I mean, even though technically we're at a chicken place, I know how this goes. So who wants milkshakes? Who wants milkshakes? Oh, Mark, you're not making any sense, man. You're not making any sense on this one. I'm actually very surprised that you were this incoherent the entire video.
Doing a photo op. He signed a MAGA hat. He bought some milkshake. He didn't even buy chicken. How you gonna go to Chick-fil-A and only buy people milkshake? He didn't even get the 3-piece, you know what I mean? Or the nuggets, I should say. He didn't even get the nuggets. He didn't get the chicken sandwiches. Now, I'm not advocating that people shop or buy from Chick-fil-A. There's all kinds of reasons not to shop at Chick-fil-A, particularly in solidarity with our LGBTQ family, but also just doing the right thing and being good, decent human beings. But
so now you're not a good, decent human being if you buy Chick-fil-A? When did that happen? You listen, you're not getting people to stop going to Chick-fil-A, Mark. That's not happening. You're not getting people to stop going to Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A too good. You're not getting people to stop going to Chick-fil-A. But maybe I missed something. I didn't know that good, decent human beings go to KFC or Popeyes, but not Chick-fil-A. I didn't know that. That's news to me. That's news.
Donald Trump don't care about that stuff. He went there because his homie owns it. Just to be clear, Donald Trump went to that because his friend owned it.
No, he went to go buy milkshakes. You even said that earlier.
He's able to pat the back of another 1%er at the same time that he looks like he's coming to meet some black folk. And again, these black folk don't give a damn about Donald Trump. Don't get it confused. We do not give a damn about Donald Trump.
That's not what it sounded like here.
Come on.
Here we go.
Make sure I'm taking a few pictures.
Okay.
Now I want one with you. Come on.
Oh, okay. Come on.
Sounds like they care a lot to me.
He's out there.
Personally requested.
Come on,
you.
let's go. That's good. Beautiful.
Yeah, can my friend Dom get in one too? She's fundraising.
Come on in. Come on in. Come on in.
Yes,
We're going to get rid of Biden. Bye-bye, Sleepy.
He's talking to a group of young black voters. He said, we're going to get rid of Biden. And everybody cheered and said, yes, bye Biden. Milkshakes on me.
The worst president in the history of the United States. And he... Come on in. We're going to get rid of Biden. Bye-bye, Sleepy. He is the worst president in the history of the United States, and he's horrible to the black community. Whether you like it or not, he
Been that way
treats the
since a
black
senator.
community bad. And
You heard what she said? Trump said he's the worst thing that ever happened to the black community. And that strong black woman said he's been there since he was a senator. She yelled out that he's been horrible for the black community since he was a senator. Just wanted to highlight that.
Check out his record in the 1990s. Check out his record in the 1990s.
You're economically what's for us. Yeah.
Well, opportunities.
Opportunity-wise, everything holistic.
Best job numbers ever.
The first step egg. Let's talk about it.
And again, the colleges and universities. I used to get the whole thing down.
Yeah. I got you. No problem.
Can I get one picture really quick?
All right, let's round this out with Marc Lamont. I really got to get out of here now. There's only about like 30 seconds left in that video with Marc anyways. But let's get into it. Marc doesn't know what he's talking about. That man is beside himself in complete denial. There are 517 of you in the stream right now. Please hit the like button if you haven't already. Thank you.
What we do care about is our vote. What we do care about.
Let's see.
He's able to pat the back of another 1%er at the same time that he looks like he's coming to meet some black folk. And again, these black folk don't give a damn about Donald Trump. Don't get it confused. We do not give a damn about Donald Trump.
That's not what we just saw.
What we do care about is our vote. What we do care about is our dignity. And we're going to preserve that. So don't worry, y'all. We're going to be all right.
Don't worry, y'all. We're going to be all right. And don't worry, y'all. That's the end of tonight's stream. So I want to thank you all for joining me tonight. Please hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. Share this stream out on your social media platforms. And also don't forget to follow me on Telegram at TD Media Group. The link to the Telegram is in the description box below. It is pinned in the live chat right now, and it will be pinned in the comment section once the stream is over. And I just want to make sure that I give my thank yous for those of you who supported today's show. I appreciate you, and I do not exist without you guys. Thank you all for showing up. Shout out to Walter Wilborn coming through like you always do. I appreciate you, Walter. Shout out to Watch Your Mouth. Shout out to Watch Your Mouth for coming through with the support. I appreciate you. Watch Your Mouth. Jerry Early coming through as you always do. He says, thank you, TDMG over here. Big Island, Hawaii. Jerry Early over there kicking it in Hawaii. Shout out to my boy Cutthroat Nash for always coming through. Mark can accept the writing on the wall. He really can't. That Mark is struggling. Marc Lamont Hill is struggling to accept the writing on the wall. You know, he's over there sounding like Joe Biden. Is bad. It's bad when you start glitching out for no reason like that. And shout out to Bob. Bob said, what is that? At TYT was the worst, the Young Turks was worse than that. They said they were all plants. Plants? Look at the denial. Look at the denial by everybody. Everyone is in denial. They're in denial. It was staged. They were all plants. They're all paid actors. You know, everyone is in denial over the warm welcome that Trump received from young black voters. And in this particular situation here, majority young black women. And if black women, and especially young black voters, and especially young black women, are going to show up for Trump, yeah, like I keep saying over and over again, the writing appears to be on the wall. I still have to see it to believe it. But it looks like, you know, Biden's gonna have to pull another 2020, man. That's what it honestly feels like. It feels like if Biden's gonna win, he's gonna have to pull another 2020, where we all go to sleep, and when we wake up in the morning, Biden is president by a landslide. It's looking like that's what he's going to need to win this election again. But anyways, man, I'm out of here. I got to go. I've been saying I got to go now for the past 15 minutes. Thank you all for joining me tonight on my side mission. And I will be back next week with more important news and information. So have a great evening and a safe one. Peace.